Do you think they're all here? I mean, there's a couple reasons why people think mainly that they're either here to totally help us and only for good, or that they're protecting their assets, maybe, or that they're just monitoring us, or that it's reconnaissance to possibly take us over. Do you think those are all valid possibilities?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one thing that I err on the side of caution is that people say, oh, well, they're completely here to help us. They're not bad in any way, and I think that's a step too far. I think with anything in this world and beyond, we've got to imagine things that there's benevolent and malevolent. There's light, there's dark, there's yin, there's yang, there's good, there's bad. That's how I think everything works. Now, people will say, oh, well, they come and they're trying to give us a message to not use nuclear weapons. They're here to help us. But from the amount of people that I've spoken to who have had experience with beings, whether it's abductees or not, a lot of them will tell you that these beings, these entities, they aren't good. They have done things to these individuals that would be considered, torture in some cases, rape in some cases, abductions is kidnapping. So that's not exactly trying to be positive, is it? I think we have to not try and jump to one conclusion because it fits in with a certain narrative that we would want it to be. I hear this phrase all the time. Well, if they were bad, they would have wiped us out by now. Well, that's just a human way of looking at things. We're anthropomorphizing these beings. But, if they've been around for thousands of years, people are like, well, they should have destroyed us by now. But time, if these things are traveling through space and time to them is completely different to us, how do we know that they're not just playing the long game? How do we know that they aren't planning to invade us in 3024? We just don't know, but we always humanize this about, well, this is what we would do. And so everything has to remain open to being a potential for why these things are here.
And the way Lou Elizondo explained one theory on that too is like, we don't really care about the apes. They might be semi-dangerous to us if we're on the ground with them, but we have weapons, so we're not really that worried. But when they start to get weapons, then they start becoming a threat. And then people are saying, now we're also going up into space, which does that actually put them us more on their radar? Because we might be going up with weapons in some cases as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are stories of in the past during nuclear tests when I think it was Americans have tried to fire nukes into space that they've just been knocked out of the air or the atmosphere by these UFOs. As a very famous case that we've heard about, what the video shows, that this nuke is shooting out of the atmosphere and this UFO appears and shines a beam on it, goes around it, another beam, and almost does a 360, shining beams on it before it just drops out of the sky. I mean, it makes sense, I guess, that they wouldn't want us to take this kind of warfare into space. And, if these beings are so much more highly advanced than us, then it would probably make sense that they've grown to move beyond conflict, beyond war. So maybe there's a message there to us that we need to stop trying to fight everything and each other.
Yeah, it definitely seems that we're doing that. And maybe the nukes going off too, even in the tests, that might affect the atmosphere to them if they have assets here. And they're blown up in the water too, I think, in some cases, which might affect them, or in space. I heard, you talked about that 1964 incident where they stopped the nuke. I heard Tom DeLonge say that Operation Starfish Prime that they did at one point where they blew up the nuke in space, that may have actually been potentially to knock out UFOs. That's the rumor he's trying to
spread. It is a rumor. It's definitely a rumor. Yeah,
What do
again,
you
we'd
know
love to know
about
for
that?
sure.
What do you know
Not a
about
lot
that?
more. Just the little things that Tom DeLonge has really said. If you look online and try and research Starfish Prime when it comes to the UFOs, there's absolutely very limited information on that. And so, again, I'll take it with a pinch of salt. Can't be proven one way or the other. Does it make sense? Yeah, it kind of makes sense. I know that it would make sense that some of these government agencies, maybe these deep black programs, would want to try and knock these things out of the sky for analysis and things like that. So yeah, potentially, but I'd love to know more.
And his point, which is a very valid point, he was shooting this out. They shot this up when there was really bad tensions with the U.S. and Russia. And what he was saying was there's actually an agreement with US and Russia that they would allow this to happen because it was kind of a common enemy. So that's interesting because it didn't escalate tensions at all. And right now, if somebody tried that with all the tensions, okay, we're just going to blow up a nuclear bomb in the air, I don't know if it would go over as smoothly unless the countries agreed to it again.
Yeah, that's it. It's a good point.